Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the sixth class, fifth chapter, separation of substances. Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Genius Science Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the separation of substances. As we know, we daily use a lot of the materials in our day-to-day life, isn't it? Lot of the dresses, lot of the shoes, chappals, and lot of the eating materials. Like this, we use a lot of the materials in day-to-day life, and even we use a lot of materials in the kitchen also. At the time of playing, at the time of doing work, we use a lot of the substances, a lot of the materials. You know that knowingly, unknowingly, we are going to separate according to separate the substances or the materials according to their uses. We categorize the substances according to their uses, according to their shapes, according to their sizes, according to the need. We separate, we bifurcate the materials which we use in our day-to-day lives, isn't it? Today, the same topic or the same thing today we are going to discuss here. How we separate the materials, why we separate the materials. Okay, look here. A small activity we see here in the picture here. Look at this activity. This is the separation of tea leaves from a liquid tea by using the strainers. You know that your moms, your sister, even we are going to filter our tea before we drink. We use this filter to separate the tea leaves from the tea here. After that, we collect all the pure tea to drink in the cups. Look here, we are separating the material from the tea. We are separating the tea leaves from the teas. You have observed that your mom is clean the grains before cook them, right? Here look at that. The grain is separated from the stalk while the harvesting, right? It means that before we harvest the materials, we are going to separate the grains from the waste materials. This is also. Look here, milk is separate, milk or the curd is crunched into separate the butters, right? As we gin the cotton to separate its seed from the fibers, we remove the seeds from the cotton tree, we separate the cotton from the cotton seeds. If you observe that your mom or the sister is separating the waste, removing the impurities from the rice before they cook. Before preparing the chapatis, your mom is separating from the soft from the wheat flour. We take lot of the examples of our day-to-day life. We separate the materials in the form of impurities, in the form of the useful things, in the form of throwing materials. Every our activity we do in our day-to-day life, we are bifurcating the materials which we use, isn't it? We separate a lot of the materials. If we carefully observe that carefully we observe that, look here, butter is taking out from the churning milk or milk curd. We separate the here butter. We separate the butter, isn't it? Like this, we separate the lot of the materials according to their uses, according to our needs here. There are the different type of methods to separate the materials. Let us see what are the methods are there. We see the methods of separation. Method of a separation. First method we are going to see that is the hand picking. See this picture here, hand picking stone from the grains. I just told you this example. Before cooking the materials, our mom separated the waste materials or the impurities from the cooking material. These are the waste materials or the impurities. Separating from the grains. This is the grain. This is the grain. This is known as the hand picking. Why we call it as a hand picking? It is made by the hand. This method of a hand picking can be used for the separating of a slightly large sized impurities like the species of a dirty stone and the shock from the wheat, rice or the pulses. It means we are removing the waste material by our hand. It means we separate the impurities from the grains by picking them one by one by using our hands. So it is known as the hand picking method. Okay, this quantity of such impurities is usually not very large. We are remove the very slightly, means there we can see with our eyes. We are going to remove them all the impurities from the grains here. We find the hand picking is the convenient method for the separating the substance. So this is also the convenient method we use in our day-to-day life. This activity is did by our mother, sister, grandmother, elder mother. Right? Before they cook the food, they are separate the impurities by using the hand method. You can see in this picture, the person is separating the grains from the impurities. Okay. Next method, that is the threshing. Right? Threshing. You have seen the bundle of a wheat or the paddy stalk laying on the field after harvesting the crop. It means we keep all the crops one side before harvest. The stalk or the dead, the sun before the grain is separated from them. It means we keep the stalk and the dry materials or the dry substances we separate from the grains. Right? Here this is the threshing method is used to separate the impurities from the harvesting substances. What is the threshing? The process that is used to separate the grains from the stalk. Here you can see in this picture, a person is separating the grains from the stalk. He beating these crops to the stone to separate the stalks from the grains. This is known as a threshing here. Look, in this process, we beat or we hit these crops to a particular stone or the wooden thing to separate the grains from the stalk here. That is known as the harvesting. Okay, look here, this threshing, what the process is here? The stalks are beaten to free the grains seed. This threshing is done with the help of the bullocks, right? Or we can beat by hand also. This is known as the threshing here, right? Next process is the winnowing. What is the winnowing? Look here, this method of separating the component of a mixture is called the winnowing. Here you can see the lady throw the, or slightly she leave the grains when the air blown speedily. However, the lighter things, the lighter impurities are blown with the air. Winnowing is used to separate the heavier and the lighter component of the mixture by wind or by blowing the air here. You can see in the picture the lady is throwing some mixture of grains which contains the impurities. Slowly when the air is blown up, the impurities go along with the air and the pure grains are settled down on the floor. This is known as the winnowing, right? I am directly coming to the point. And next one is that this method, which means winnowing method, is commonly used by the farmer to separate the hash particles from the heavier seed of the grains. This is used in the agriculture. This is used in the agriculture. The farmer remove the impurities from the grains with the help of air. Next one method is the sieving method, right? You can see here in this picture, right? Look here, sometimes we may wish to prepare a dish with the flour. We need to remove the impurities from the barn that may be present in it. It means we are going to remove the waste products or the impurities or the barns from the wheat flour or the ragi flour or the jawar flour by using the sieving instrument. It means the sieving allows the fine flour particles to pass through the hole of the sieve, which bigger impurities remain on the sieve. This one method. When we put the flour in this sieve, we are going to shake it, the sieve. The impurities remain in the sieve and the fine particles and the pure particles are settled in the lower vessel. Are you getting my point? Look here. Milk impurities and the hash and the stones are removed from the wheat before the grinding it. Or before they prepare the chapatis, they are going to separate the impurities by using this sieving method. Okay? This is also one type of a sieving where we are going to remove the waste product from the sand. You have saw it for the many times, I hope. Next one is the sedimentation, decantation and the filtration. These are the three methods we use to separate the chemical substances from each other. First of all, we are going to discuss about the sedimentation. When the heavier components in the mixture settle after the water is added to it, the process is called sedimentation. Okay? Look, I will tell you these activities. Take a glass of water, fill it with water. After that, add some sand to that glass. Slowly you will going to see that all the sand is settled down at the bottom after a few minutes. Why? Because the sand is the heavier than the water. The settlement of a sand in the bottom of that glass is nothing but the sedimentation. Settling down of the heavier particle at the bottom of the jar or the bottom of the container, they are known as the sedimentation. Look here, next one is when the water along with the dust is removed, process is called the decantation. Removal of a waste product. Look here, this is the sedimentation where the waste product is settled down at the bottom of this glass. And slowly we are going to remove the pure water from one container to the another container, that is known as the decantation. Are you getting my point? Slowly we are going to separate it. It means when the heavier particle or the component or the mixture settled in the bottom of the jar, that is known as the sedimentation. When the water along with the dust is removed, process is called the decantation. Here we are going to remove the waste products here from the heavier materials, that is known as the decantation. Second one is known as the filtration. By filtering the water, look here, we filter, this is the filter paper, we fold it in the shape of a funnel. We place these filter paper in the funnel. Slowly we are going to put the waste product or the waste liquid in this funnel. Slowly the pure water is collected in this jar and the impurities remain in the filter paper here in the funnel. This is known as the filtration process. This is known as the filtration process. Why? Because this filter paper contain the small pores. Pores means holes here. Here it contains the small pores in the paper which allow the water to pass through them and settle in the bottom of this glass or collected in this jar, and all the impurities are collected in the funnel. This is known, the separation of impurities from the liquid is known as the filtration process. Remember this point. Okay. And next thing that evaporation. Evaporation means the process by which, look here, the process of the conversion of the liquid into the vapors is called the evaporation. Are you getting my point? Here, take a beaker containing the small amount of water, allow the water to boil. If it continues heating, would water turns into the steam here. It means that take the water in this one, this is the water present in this jar. If we start to the heat, the water start to boil. After a few minutes, we see the steam coming out from this vessel. It is nothing but the water is converted into the water from the steam, that is known as the evaporation. That is known as the evaporation. This is also one type of a method we use in our day-to-day life to separate the materials or the substances. And second, this is also a method, the evaporation is the method used in the preparation of a salt in the seas, at a seas. Next point is Next point is the condensation. When the steam comes in the contact with the metal plates cooled with rice, it condenses to form the liquid water. The water drops that you observed falling from the plates due to the condensation of the steam. This process of a conversion of the water vapors into the liquid form, it is called the condensation. It means the condensation is the process where we convert the water vapors into the liquid. Look here, if you see this activity, you come to know that when the steam is restricted or the heat to the cold plate and suddenly it is converted into the water drops. This is known as the condensation. Because of this process, we get the rain in our rainy season because of the condensation. When the water is evaporated from the seas, rivers, ponds, lakes, it reaches to the atmosphere in upper region where there is a cold climate is present. After when the steam or the evaporation reaches to the colder region of the atmosphere, it is converted into the water droplet and it return fall down in the form of a rain. Same here, you can see the steam is coming out from this jar or the funnel and it is trickled to the cold plate holded upright on this funnel nozzle, and slowly the steam is converted into the water vapors. This process is known as the condensation. Right? We use the lot of the materials to separate from one each other. Look here, there is a challenge here. We are going to see, can water dissolve any amount of the substances? Let us see. We see that these substances are soluble in waters like the salt and the sugars. What happens if we go on adding more and more substances to fix the quantity of a substances? Would having the remain mixed with the sand and could not recover? Look here, we use this activity here. You can do this activity in your home and comment the results. Okay. So, thank you for watching my class. I hope you people are understood. We discussed the 3 points here. The important points are here. We are going to see that. Summary. Today we discussed about the hand picking, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation, filtration. These are the methods of separation. One is the hand picking, another one winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Look here, ash and the stones could be separated from the hand picking. Ash is also separated from the heavier seed by the winnowing. Right? Different in the sizes of the particles in the mixed, utilize the separate them from the process of sieving and filtration. Right? The filter can be used to separate the component of a mixture insoluble, solid or a liquid. Evaporation is the process in which a liquid converted into the vapors. We use this separating solids, dissolved liquid. A saturated solution is in which no more that substances can be dissolved. Saturated means, I will tell you that. take a jar, fill with water, add sugar, it will dissolve. Again add sugar, stir it well, it dissolves. Again add the sugar, stir it well, again it dissolves. At the time when the sugar does not dissolve, that condition is known as the saturated condition or the saturated solution. Okay, thank you for watching my class. Please subscribe, share and comment. Okay, call your friends to join our class. Next time I hope the class will be very interestingly will be taught. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, share and like.